Hello and welcome back to Childcare Confidential. I'm Jessica Hampton and this is my lovely co-host, Katy. Hello, everybody. Hello. All right, guys. Today we are talking staff versus parents. The blow up that split the center. This is the kind of situation that keeps directors up at night. We've all been there.
Yes, we have.
Because no matter what you do, someone is always going to be upset.
That's
right?
Life, but yes, that's accurate. It just starts with one parent that questions everything, that doubts everything, that corrects the teacher. And at first, we're like, okay, this is a huge pain in the rear end, but we can do this. It's manageable.
Yeah. But then it kind of spreads throughout the whole center and doesn't feel so manageable anymore, does it? You get the emails, the complaints, the conversations with other parents that have heard. And now your staff is feeling it. They feel watched. They feel undermined. So many things. Sad.
And it gets ridiculous, though. Jess and I were just having this conversation, last week? Or was it the week before?
I think it was last week.
Okay, I think it
fun times.
So generally, I should say, we don't have very many issues within the building. I would say parents that we have the majority of the times are fantastic, easygoing, not crazy.
They want to partner with you, not against
I love that.
you.
Yes. We have lots of them that partner, but then we have the ones that don't. And we had a really, really very interesting situation that took place about a week ago where we had a parent who brought this super perfect tiny human to come join our new school. Yes, the cutest little thing.
Yes.
Well, of course, we want to partner with this parent. So we're trying to listen to what they have to say, telling them how we could best support them. But with the small friends, when it's their first day, it doesn't always go as planned. There's going to be some hiccups.
Yeah, especially if the parent never stops holding the child.
Okay, man, okay.
We've all been there. We know what it's like.
Yeah, but we don't ever put the child never goes down, ever. It is always held, loved on, and has 100% attention. Without a doubt, there is never a lapse in time where that's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Jess, but in group care, we don't get to do that, unfortunately. I would love to hold them all day.
Yes, we do as much as possible, obviously. But when you have 4 infants to 1 teacher, that's not always feasible. And sometimes you have to put the baby down.
No, not down. What are we going to do?
I know. That parent did not like that we put that baby down. No.
So fast forward through the day. This is after multiple messages through our little messaging system, some phone calls. We're
communications on it. Yes. Yeah.
Mom finally comes to pick up for the day, and we are madder than mad because how dare we put said child down and not give them our undivided attention with the 4 other children in the classroom? How dare we do this? Ridiculous. I know.
I feel like that's kind of like a lot of other things too, like unrealistic expectations might be a thing for our field. I don't know.
It's like that's been a thing forever.
Yes.
But so this parent, and Jess and I pride ourselves on the fact that if there is something happening inside the schools, and it's a very escalated situation where a parent's that mad, I am happy to take over and take that weight off of our directors and our teachers. That shouldn't have to be their fault.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jess, for gifting me that opportunity because this parent was a wackadoodle. And I don't think that's that's the nicest way I could put it, I think.
Yeah. Sometimes.
They wanted to fight us and refused to leave. We ended up having to call the nice police officers.
How sad is it when you have to have a school call the police because you refuse to leave the building because you want to keep yelling at us? We're not going to yell back at you. We're just going to tell you there's the door. Have a great life. But we're not, trying to match your energy. We're trying to de-escalate. And if you continue to go crazy in this situation, then we are going to simply just say, you know what? If you don't leave right now, we'll call the police. And I just love that parent was like, go ahead and try it.
So, I mean, I did try it and I did succeed. And our kids actually ended up getting an experience because they got to watch the cruisers drive by with their lights on. So we just made it an emotional moment. But that parent.
Right. Well, and we should say that no other children in the building saw what was going on, that kind of thing. Our office is kind of up front where you have to walk back to the classrooms. So nobody even knew what was happening. So they were excited about the police car, coming and that sort of thing. Meanwhile, up front, not the same situation.
But I don't even know why it has to get to that point. Just like you were saying, Jess, like we care for young humans. We try to educate young learners. Why are you in here yelling at me? If it's not a good fit, that's great. Take your kiddo and go find somewhere that is.
You need a nanny, honey.
Yeah.
Somebody that can hold your one child all day long. That is not group care. So there is a big difference, I think, on expectations and then what you get. Like we said earlier, if you have 4 infants in a room, you do have to feed other infants. You cannot just hold a baby all day.
What? You can't?
But that might just mean the group care fit is not a great fit.
It doesn't make it bad, though.
Right. No. We just want to help you find the right fit for you, which was not us, clearly.
Not us.
And that's okay. Because we're happy without the crazy.
We needed a break.
But that is not the only situation we've had. As we were talking about this episode and things that have happened, it is so important. If you are a parent, please hear me.
Yes.
You have every right to say a complaint or to talk to the school and ask questions. Every right.
Yes.
We want to partner with you. We can't solely do this on ourselves. You can't do it on yourself because you are at work. And so we want to partner with you, which means we need information. Communication is key.
What?
We had a parent years ago that we did not know was bipolar. We found out through mom after we had an incident happen at the school. And what happened was the parent that came was not even coming to drop off his child at the time. He came and he came just to yell at us before his child arrived with mom.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, that was so nice. That's what I wanted done at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. Can't even get it up. Yeah, it was like, oh, hi. Okay. But he obviously was having a manic episode, which we found out after the fact. And he was calling us all sorts of names. If you can think it, we were called it. Oh. We did have to call the police in that situation. Refused to leave the building.
That's so nice.
However, after the police came, he left, and then mom came to drop off. And my heart just broke for her because I could not allow the child to stay at school. And she started crying and telling us about the episode and hoping we'd reconsider and things like that. And your heart breaks in those situations, but we have to protect all of the children in our care. And by letting that child attend still, we were not doing so because we did not want this situation to happen again. So we sent her away, and she obviously was visibly upset.
Of course.
But understood because she had walked through it a time or two, and we just found out about it. So that triggered our dad friend even more.
How blessed.
To the point where we got over 100 phone calls, back to back to back to back. So we then had to call the police back out and say, this is what's going on. How do we make it stop? So the next time this parent called, and yes, we do have caller ID. Y'all,
yes,
we know when you're calling.
If you're a child care center, you should have caller ID.
Yes. I mean, it's 2026. If you don't, I'm shocked. But yeah, so he kept calling over 100 times. We called the police back out, and the next time he calls, and the police officer is listening to the calls. As soon as we answer, he cusses us out and hangs up every time.
Yep.
And we have to keep answering, because that's what we do. We're business. You have to answer the phone. And so the next time he calls, the sheriff goes, "Can I?" And I said, "Absolutely."
How fun.
He picks up the phone and goes, "Sheriff's office, how can I help you?"
No.
And then he starts cussing him out.
Oh,
we're like, oh, gosh. So we finally got it under control for a minute, and the sheriff leaves. Well, we're like, okay, thank God we're finally done with whatever this was, because we're still going, what?
I'm still so confused.
The accusations weren't even real, which honestly happens often, but the accusations were not even real. And so we were just dumbfounded, right? And so I was getting ready to leave on summer vacation for the week, and the director there was still there. Well, I'm getting calls all the way on my 4-hour drive to where we were going, and we're getting emails.
Oh, I love emails.
Ring doorbell camera footage of the police showing up at this guy's house. And he's yelling at him and sending him away and all this stuff. And so he's emailing these videos of him to our work email.
Communication
while cussing us out in all capital letters. So we stopped calling and went to email.
Okay.
We had to get a restraining order. I mean, it just kept going and going. And I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? Well, he ended up in jail. But anyway, don't mess with us. Don't mess with us.
Well, actually, maybe just don't send threatening messages via email in all caps lock after the cops are already kind of on your coattails about being a harasser.
Yes. And if you were a parent, not in a bipolar situation in this case, but if you're a parent and you have a concern, talk about it. Don't let it boil up until you're losing your mind.
Right.
And then it's 50,000 things. Go to your school and just have a conversation. This situation got so blown out of hand when all he had to do was come to us and say, hey, why was my kid the only kid that was playing in our indoor playground area? And the other kids were sitting out here. And it was the answer was because your child was the only one that wanted to play indoor playground area at the time that you showed up. And that really upset him. But that really, the answer was, well, your child wanted to play. We were all sitting there ready for pickup and ready to go and singing songs and doing our thing.
Right.
And they asked if they could go play. So we let them.
So crazy how you would do that. You would allow children to go play in a child care center?
I swear, you would think we're making this stuff up, but it is unreal, the things that people say or think. Sometimes your perception's just off.
Yeah.
And
more than often.
if you partner with the school and you trust the people that you have decided are there to care for your child while you're gone several hours a day, there has to be a trust factor there. And when that trust is broken on either side, it's hard to mend that,
Well, I also don't think that it helps either when a parent is nasty or decides to not go to the director and then they verbally attack or yell at or make our teachers feel less than, because then what does that do? It just drops that staff morale.
Yep. I was just going to say that staff morale drops like crazy in those situations because then they're looking inside and going, okay, well, what did I do wrong?
Exactly.
Was I not supposed to let the little girl go play even though she wanted to? But the truth is, you did the right thing, and sometimes perception is wrong. What you do after that situation defines everything. How you handle it, how the resolution goes.
Well, Also, Jess, if you think back, this is a few months ago, but we had a situation where we had a family that maybe wasn't necessarily the best fit for us. We weren't the best fit for them. We decided to part ways later, because in our area, there's not as many childcare centers as I would like there to be that focus very heavily on the curriculum aspect, the education aspect, really like the learning. Right. And not all of them were like that, but quite a few. And so this parent was like, well, actually, I made a mistake and I want to come back now. Can you please let me come back? And you and I had this whole conversation.
We did. We went back and forth.
And Jess is not typically the, what do we call you? The gray. I'm normally the gray. She's the black and white. But in this instance, Jess was the gray. And she's like, maybe we should. Yes. I can see it from this perspective, but at the end of the day, we chose our staff. We chose to respect our staff, and because our staff were the ones that were made kind of uncomfortable and the situation wasn't working out well, we ultimately chose to support them. Yep. And like that's what we chose to do, and I still feel like the decision that we made was the best for the school, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was a little gray in the area just because being a mom, I could see, I sympathize with our families and what they're going through. And in this situation, I was sympathizing with the mom, and she was very apologetic, realized what had happened. Right. She took all blame, she's like, I let it get out of hand. They wanted to come back, and I got several apologies, and I was like, you did say, I did. But ultimately, our staff was hurt by the situation, and they felt like that trust was broken because they were getting defensive. They weren't trusting us. They wanted more and more and more, and we couldn't answer fast enough. Guys, I'm not the fastest texter or email.
What? So
yeah, I know, I hate it. But yeah, if you know me, you know. But at the time, you have to support your team, and the team was hurt and they were broken from it. And I think the best thing for our staff morale and what defined us in that situation as supporting our staff was to say, this just isn't a good fit.
Exactly.
It was hard because we knew the parent. But you have to do, like I said earlier, you have 100 and some little kiddos at your school, or however many you have, you have to protect and support everybody. And if there is one situation that's not going well and that trust is kind of broken, you can't just solely focus on that one situation and lose the morale for the rest of the school. Same thing with staff.
What? Sorry. I do want to say though too, in this exact instance, even if you choose to support your staff, which I really hope the majority of providers do choose their staff.
Yes.
And they're, to make sure that they're covered first. But regardless, whatever you do, whether it's a very challenging conversation with a parent, whether it's a challenging conversation with your staff member, you can do literally anything with integrity, which is Jess's favorite, but you also can do it with kindness. That family that unfortunately wasn't going to work out well for us in all situations, we make sure that we offer them some alternative care choices. We ask them how we could help partner and bridge that gap. You can do it nicely and it still be the end.
Yes. I will say, Katy, you did a really good job at that in this situation, because I was kind of and usually I'm like, well, did they do this? Well, we have a rule, and going back to my systems kind of thing. But in this situation, it was a tough one, but Katy did a great job. She sat down with the family and made sure they were provided resources to other schools. She got them information, really gave them, something to go with, not just, hey, you're out, because a parent's already frantic at that point. What do I do? So we need to, even though we may not agree with the parent, in some situations, remember, we do this for a living. Yes. But in some situations, it's best to provide and support the child through it by giving them resources to go somewhere else. And I like to say that on tours too. I like to give you as much information as I can, and also say, here's some information about our state and how our quality system works, and some resources for you, so that if we're not the right fit, we'd love for you to find the right fit. Because if we're not the right fit, we don't want you to be here as much as you don't want to be here. To be honest,
you can tell pretty quickly too if it's going to be
yes,
maybe not the right fit, but if it's going to gel or not. I can tell probably within 5 minutes of what the parents are asking in the tour,
yes,
or what they're seeing. Yeah, we can gauge it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so important, and that doesn't mean that it's not the right fit if you have a question or concern.
Correct.
That's not what that means. We don't just say, oh, you're questioning our what? No, you're the parent. We want to partner with you.
Exactly.
And if it's just not a good partnership, then it's just not a good partnership.
Right.
But if you're not satisfied or talking about that conversation, or you have further questions, you need to talk through those, because I do think people build it up a lot and they let things kind of fester, and then all of a sudden one thing happens, maybe a shoelace is untied, it'll be the littlest thing, and it's like, well, this, and we're like, okay, hold on, you never brought this up.
This is new information.
We're gonna have to do this one item at a time while we get through it all, and it would just save yourself and the schools so much if you just communicate well with them. And if the school communicates well with you, I will say with the infant parent that we just had, we communicated very well with them. Communication was not the key. In a lot of situations like that, we will try to over communicate, just to kind of help the parent walk through it to get the other resources. Or we'll have to call the police. It just kind of depends on where they want to take the conversation.
I did not offer her any resources. That parent
no, she got escorted out by our lovely friends. I would not either, because your instinct in those situations is to come back at somebody, to match their energy, to get defensive. But when you're in a professional setting, you can't do that, guys. You can't.
You cannot match energy.
No, don't do it. It's just ugly all around.
It is. You're going to regret it.
Don't be that person that has to be like over the top with every comment. It's not leadership. It's not good. Don't do it. But you can de-escalate the situation and find a resolution. And our resolution was the police department. And they did a mighty fine job.
Okay, we didn't
start with outside resources.
We didn't start with them, in fairness. We tried to de-escalate this.
She wouldn't leave.
Well, no, she asked me if I would enjoy her to fight me. And then I felt like I probably should just call for assistance.
What is wrong with people? Like,
she also had on the sandals.
Please fight me in a childcare center.
She had on the sandals. I knew she wasn't ready to fight, and it was going to be just fine, which is why I called our beautiful police department, and we moved right along.
But hey, Katie's got this, though. She could take somebody out if she has to.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, Jess. Don't tell people otherwise.
Yes,
well,
sure.
Let's get back to it there, superstar.
Yes. Where were we?
At the end of the day, what we're trying to say, though, is when you try to keep everyone happy, you usually lose the people who matter most, which is why you should most certainly always choose your staff, defend them in every possible opportunity, because they're going to be the people that speak highly of you when you're not at the table. They're going to be the people that surround you when you're at the lowest point.
Yes. So important. They have to, that's such a huge thing. Have you ever walked into a room where everybody gets quiet and you just know everybody's talking about you? That's not a good feeling as a leader. And I will tell you that happened to me so many times with other leadership that we had at our school. And it's not a good feeling.
No.
And when you're a leader, you just go, okay, I'm going to let it go. However, it also hurts the morale of your school. And it caused us to have to do a pretty big morale shift at some point in our school because it was getting kind of negative. As we all know, centers can, early childhood can, when you
Yes.
work with a lot of
Yes.
women.
Yes.
Guys, we love you too. Unfortunately, we've only had one or two guys at a time that have worked with us.
They are also dramatic, though.
Guys, yes.
They are dramatic as well.
Less guys than women in this field. But that's important. And it's also important, we say support your staff, that's extremely important. But staff, hear me when I say that does not mean that you can demand a child not be in your classroom because you don't like that behavior.
No.
Because when staff bring that to me, I just go, oh, no, sweetheart. We don't get options like that. I don't do ultimatums. No, ma'am.
She does not do well with those at all.
I never do an ultimatum. So my staff knows me well enough to know, nope. I will do the exact opposite if you come at me like that. Now, if you come at me and say, hey, I need support, that is different. That is saying, I'm not going to have this child in my classroom because that's not how we roll.
No.
So that is not what we mean by support staff. It does not mean the teacher doesn't want a kiddo in the room, so you got to just move them out. That's not a resolution.
No, it means that staff are going to do what they're supposed to do, and they're going to document, and they're going to record, and they're going to allow us as admin to stay informed when we need 100%. To be so that we can protect you. That's what that means.
Exactly. I just wanted to clarify that point because, we have all sorts of people that listen on the podcast. We've got, parents, educators, admin, all sorts of people. And so I just want to make sure we're kind of hitting every angle.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. I think it's really important to, we said at the beginning, the blow up that split the center and staff versus parents. It really shouldn't be staff versus parents when you're in these settings. We are partnering together. And that's really important. And I know Katy has created some partnership programs with our families that have been a great resource to our families. So if we are being the resource and coming up with different ideas, we should be partnering together. And if you have concerns, you should be bringing them up to your school so that we can walk through them with you.
Yes, not your social media platforms. It's not a good place to be expressing any of your concerns if you actually want something to be done.
Yeah, I love when people post on the big town chatter groups and everything, and they're like, I went to this restaurant, and they didn't have this, and it was awful. And I'm like, well, did you talk to a manager?
No.
Not We've got a lot of keyboard warriors, but not actual conversations.
Not keyboard warriors. Oh, no.
Sometimes. But yes, so all of that to say, partner with your families. Don't make it staff versus parents.
Yes.
And if you are in a tough situation, how you handle it, de-escalate it, resolution, whatever it is what really defines everything. Matching energy does not do well.
No, don't do that.
No. And when you try to keep everyone happy, usually the people that matter most lose out. So, yeah.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yay. Hey, real quick, before we go, we want to tell you about some new things coming up. So you may have seen some of our posts lately on our page and maybe on our website, but we are starting a new venture.
Yay.
And it is part of Childcare Confidential, but we're calling it the Vault. Katy, what do you think of the Vault?
I think the Vault is going to be the coolest thing.
I agree. I agree.
We've
been in leadership groups. And, I think one of the things that I get most out of the leadership groups that we've kind of been a part of, and we're going to the conferences, is the connection with other leaders.
Yes.
Feeling like somebody will finally just talk to me and like be normal. And I don't have to keep it all inside. one of the things that we had posted recently was like, what kind of hits home with what you're dealing with right now? And a lot of the responses we are getting is a lot of directors are feeling alone. They're feeling alone in the field. And that's been the biggest response so far. And so that kind of brought us to bringing up the vault and how it's kind of a connection of community to where we'll get on coaching calls, we'll get on one-on-one calls, we'll have extra added resources on our website for you. But it's just to stay committed to something every month and make sure you're checking in with people and bringing what you're really dealing with, what your family doesn't really understand because they're not in it every day.
Exactly.
Or what, you can't tell your staff because you're supposed to be their leader, all the things so a lot of times that just leaves you feeling pretty alone. And I know in leadership, I felt pretty alone until Katy and I met up. Now we talk about everything, but not everybody has that. I know I really didn't have that until we kind of connected. And we actually connected before working together.
Right.
We just connected in the field and started having lunch together. But that connection grew and grew, and we were able to tell each other more and more. So there will be a confidentiality part to it, obviously, because we want directors, admin to come and be able to say what they need to say, to be able to be that sounding board, to give ideas for like your next thing, to tell you what we've done and what's worked or what hasn't worked. So that's a lot of what the vault is. If you go to our website at childcareconfidential.com, you will see a page called The Vault.
It's right there.
And on that page, there is a sign up form where you can fill out your name and email and stuff, and we will get you some more information. But we are starting on June 3rd.
Woo!
So get in there and get signed up. It'll be a lot of fun. We're excited.
And it's a place where everyone is welcome, which is the biggest piece that we wanted to make sure everybody knew, that it does not matter where you come from, where you're at in the world. It does not matter. You are welcome. It is your spot too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're pretty proud of it. We've been working on it for probably almost a year now.
For a
long time. We've been putting stuff in the background and getting all the training series set up and ready to go. So you'll be seeing more of those too. But we love you all here at Childcare Confidential, and keep sending us our stories. We are going to do some more story submission videos too, because we've gotten quite a few lately. So comment, share, subscribe. We love it. Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.